Hi everyone, this is Cherry Enchantress with Pixie Dust Tarot, and this is your daily dust for Thursday, January 26th, if you're watching in real time, but it can be for whenever you stumble upon it. This is a timeless reading. Daily dust is just a fun way of saying this is like daily magical 3-card tarot reading to get you started on your day. I film it a day ahead of time, so that way, no matter what time zone you're in, you can start your day off with this reading. But like I said, it doesn't have to be for this particular day. It can be anytime you watch it. So you can watch it as soon as I release it or whenever you stumble upon it. So if I'm being good, I get it out plenty ahead of time. But sometimes it doesn't happen that way. Oh, by the way, I use a different deck every day pretty much. Just try to mix it up as much as I can. And if any of you have a deck out there that you'd like me to use, just let me know in the comment section. This is the Gregory Scott Tarot. He is a huge inspiration for me, a great influence, and he also does a daily reading. You might like to check him out. He also does astrology, which I really like. Helps you plan your week with some good astrology information, talking about transits and so on and what to look out for. This just kind of helps you fill in. Sometimes it could be a deep reading, and sometimes it's just sort of a something mundane kind of thing that happens, you know, like simple things that you might do in your day. Sometimes you just need a confirmation of that you're on the right track, or you got the right idea about something. So let's see. I like to take from the top. So let's see what happens. Sometimes I don't. Okay, we have the 10 of Wands. I feel like it came out before. Maybe I should shuffle one more time and take out the middle, just to be sure. But anyway, it's a pleasure. The 10 of Wands, I kind of like that energy. It's especially in this deck, it's called the duty but a pleasure, or a burden but you know, it's an honor, you know, it's an honor to do this. So like parenting, or if you have pets, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm just like cleaning poop and feeding them. I'm like, they're like little factories. Like, I have these really beautiful fuzzy factories around my house, but I love them and they're worth it. Okay, so we have the High Priestess, the Hanged Man, and wow, the Queen of Cups. All right, let's zoom on in and see what we get. So I got excited to see the Queen of Cups because this particular Queen of Cups looks kind of like a Two of Cups. It looks very romantic, and I like that. Also, I am a water sign. I'm a Scorpio, and I'll often identify with the Queen of Cups and the High Priestess, as a matter of fact. So a lot of you may feel connected to the court cards, and then at times you might even feel more evolved and leveled up and resonate with the major arcana cards. Major arcana is definitely representing our higher selves, but it can also represent influences of higher entities, you know, that are helping you, your spirit team, your spirit guides. So the High Priestess, as your higher self, is this one that is your greater wisdom. And it's wisdom that's not measured in words. It helps you see through veils, other people's veils. And sometimes it's like, don't you know, I can tell when you're telling, you know I can tell when you're telling a lie, and it's almost insulting when you lie right in front of my face. But most of the time, like when a person does this, the High Priestess will just take a deep breath and not even fight it, because this is when a person wants to be deceitful, it's up to them to, it's their karma. They deal with it. You just deal with your karma. So, but there's a lot of people that are have a lower energy than you, and sometimes it just causes you to have a lot of patience. But you surprise yourself with your calmness, your patience, your tranquility. It's funny because I feel like the Hanged Man is kind of like the way you meditate. You think outside the box. You don't get, like, if you get triggered, I don't think you get triggered very easily. It's almost like you're so self-aware that you see the trigger coming and you can stop it before it happens. In a lot of cases, I'm sure there's some times where, or some people that know how to push your buttons. But I think in a general sense, you're like, ah, yes, I see it coming. I see you getting upset about this. Let's think about this before we, react to it. So I feel like the Hanged Man kind of has the delayed reaction effect because it's suspension. It's like it's almost like being, what I just saw in my head, the movie The Matrix. And when you're watching the movie, everything, the fight or the battles and things slow down. You see like the bullet fly past, and um the characters are able to dodge it, and in real time this would have struck a person because it's so fast. But in Matrix time, it's like the awareness is so heightened that everything sort of slows down into a super slow motion, as if you can feel every tiny step in every inch, and every this in the speed of things. Speed no longer exists. So I know that sounds kind of strange, but I just feel like, so you get, it's like the Jedi's too. I'm sorry, I'm a real nerd, but when Jedi uses the Force, it's a prediction, it's a predictive energy, and it's immediate, and it's right before the thing happens. And so in battle, same thing. Jedi's know exactly how to move according to what's coming to them, because it's like they're psychic or predicting the next move before it happens, and so they are able to react to it. And all the time that it takes us to react and move and everything to an action, in a normal way, it's like that saved. I don't know why I'm saying saved. That time is saved. It's not needed. So let's say in real life you are driving your car, and you feel it, like you're about to get into an accident. You see somebody coming to you, and everything seems to slow down. But instead of impact, something happens where you're able to maneuver out of it before it happens. But haven't you felt that way, like in a situation like that? I don't know if you've been in an accident or not, but in certain situations where things sort of slow down and you're observing them. That's a little bit 4D. Like, there's 3D things that we deal with every day, and 5D is high and sometimes hard to remember. But the 4D are the little strange miraculous moments throughout the day when time seems like it doesn't exist. Like, you look up at the clock and you're like, it's only 2:05. It was just, time seems like it's going so slow today. And then and then other days when you don't want it to go fast, you're like, what? It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon already? And it's not just a perception. It's something that has to do with this matrix and this energy that's around us. So I feel like the Hanged Man is giving you a chance to slow down, to perceive things, to look outside the box, to be ready, to be enlightened. It's an interesting thing that's happening here. I don't feel like this is suffering in any way, but sometimes the Hanged Man can be read as as a punishment, which is kind of funny, like somebody's being hung upside down as punishment. But here we have angels, and we have this pure person at complete blissful peace, and his head's all high, light lit up as if this is exactly where he wants to be and he's fine. So in the book, it's saying that the word for this is called reversals. The word for the high priestess is greater wisdom, but the word for the hanged man is reversals. And so being upside down can be unsettling. It can refer to by having a minority opinion on something, or being forced to change one's point of view, but it's a necessary passage to find the deeper side of things. The discomfort will pass away into nothingness while the enlightened will remain. It's interesting. And I feel like it's not like about a conspiracy theory that you're sticking to, in a base way. This is an enlightenment. This is coming from a high source. And it could be something that you resist to initially because it didn't make sense. But as you wrap your mind around it, it starts to make more sense, and then it settles into your brain. And interesting, I was watching something during Christmas, the Christmas Story, and with Keanu Reeves not Keanu Reeves, Jim Carrey was in the video initially, and that's what got my attention. But it's talking about the flow of this special oil or liquid that it goes to our pineal gland, and it's part of our enlightenment. Anyway, I feel like crown chakra, third eye chakra, your higher chakras are glowing. But it's funny because it took you having to go upside down to make it happen, to flip your point of view, to look at it a different way, thinking outside the box. Anyway, so it could be just like a fun aha moment on this particular day that you're watching, or it could be a longer kind of transit, an energy that you feel is happening over a course of days or weeks or months, where the more you're more self-aware, and you're outside, you're watching yourself. So you have the ego self, and then you have the outside self. And the outside self, your higher self, or the observer, is fully aware of what your ego is up to. And that's why you can stop yourself before you do anything that feels low level, that feels toxic, or the word I'm looking for is like unproductive, or like you want to have a good conversation that feels like that's producing a good outcome, or a resolution, or an understanding of sorts. And if you are just down to just plain name calling or something, that doesn't work, right? All that does is like puff out your chest, or the other person puffs out their chest, and somebody feels bigger and better than the other person, and then it's like, okay, wait, what's the point of all this? It's like, this is not a competition. Let's just talk one-on-one, mano y mano, like face-to-face, one-on-one equals, with try to produce some kind of understanding between us. So the Queen of Cups is all about caring, and this is emotional understanding. Love is giving, it's taking care, it's nourishing, it's abandoning selfishness for selflessness. So so in the bigger picture, there's kind of a letting go of things here, maybe a letting go of having to be right. I know it feels, we like being right, and we like to prove our points, but after a while, it's like, is this really important? Is this that important to be right? And I just feel like there's kind of like because of you changing a point of view or seeing things differently, there's a caring. So in a real simple way, this could be something like you going about your day, maybe something happens, and you see a person who has a life or situation way more difficult than yours, and then you realize, oh, I'm so lucky, I'm so blessed. Thank God that everything happened. You know what? We just had tornadoes in Houston, And it just was like not too far away from me. People's metal buildings were being torn apart, and I'm just thinking, God, I'm so blessed. Thank you, thank you, universe, for protecting me, keeping me safe. So it could be something like that as well. It could be prayer too. It could be taking time out to honor. Yeah. So but it could, and you know how I often see twos here, like a masculine and a feminine, and here we go again with the Queen of Cups and two people here, the masculine and the feminine energy, and I feel a conversation that's in this. I feel like there's such a good amount of observation and a conversation that you are able to see yourself saying, doing something, and see the other person's feelings, and but at the same time listening to them, like truly listening and repeating what they say in a way that shows them that you're truly listening, so that they can open up even more, because they want to help you understand who they are and where they're coming from, their point of view. So the Hanged Man is really about a point of view, and you're a caring, compassionate person. You want to know their point of view. That was a long way to 15 minutes later, and I'll tell you the point of this reading. Anyway, I hope you liked it. They trust the pixie dust.